So, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Tavis Taylor with Tavis Taylor Talks. Come on in and invite your followers. So, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to introduce myself. We're going to get started, and I'm going to give you some major keys that's going to help you with your teen's disrespectful behavior. So, check this out. I'm Tavis Taylor with Tavis Taylor Talks. I am your transparent mom. You see my t-shirt? Transparent mom, meaning I parent openly and honestly. I have two amazing sons. They are 19 and 9. I'm not out of the book. Parenting ain't for punks, because guess what? Parenting ain't for punks. And if you've ever lived with a teen, you understand why that broken dialect matters so much. You understand why I say parenting ain't for punks instead of parenting isn't for punks. Because if you've lived with a teen, you know what that thing is like. So yesterday we talked about it. We're going to go really quick. We talked about the 5 things not to do as a parent with their disrespectful behavior. One was, don't take everything personal and overreact. You know how we say, all I do for you, and another thing, don't badmouth other people because they're watching you. Next, take your child's side on some stuff. Say, I understand why you don't like to study. I know it's hours and hours of studying, but hey, let's get it out of the way. So you take their side. Next, never not notice their good behavior. As an adult, don't you like for people to say, great job? Aren't you happy when your boss gives you the raise that you deserve? So we want to make sure that we are telling them, great job. I am so proud of you. And last but not least, and this is going to make some mothers of the church cringe, you cannot demand respect. You can't make anybody respect you. Now, you can make them say, thank you guys so much for joining and invite your followers. Now, you can make them say they respect you, but you can't demand that anybody respects you. So you're saying, Tavis, what can I do instead of these things? Well, number one, instead of taking everything personally and overreacting, decide which behaviors you're going to focus on. What can you not tolerate? What are the things? What are the non-negotiables? Like in my house, arguing about going to school, we don't do that. That's just not a negotiable. So we don't have to talk about it, but there are certain things that are non-negotiables for you. You've got to pick your battles when you're dealing with teen. Hey, you got to pick your battles when you're dealing with yourself. And so you want to decide, okay, what are the non-negotiables? Because what you have to understand is your job in raising your teen is to kind of try to be as objective as possible, because if not, you are going to focus on every little thing they do. You're going to be the naggingest mom or the naggingest dad. So you got to pick your battles and figure out which behaviors you're going to focus on and what are you going to ignore. Number 2, when it comes to bad mouthing other people, you've got to be careful what you say about people in front of your children, because you're building a relationship. You're teaching them how to communicate with people. And so if they see all you do is talk about people, if they see you're putting everybody else down, then what do you think they're going to think you're thinking about them? So what can you do? Be a better role model. Simple. You are the parent. Be a better role model. You've got to show them how to value and respect people. You've got to model that behavior. And I know that's challenging, because sometimes we just want to get people right together or get people told, but you got to model that behavior. Number 3, taking your children's side. When you side with them, when you show them that you understand something, it makes them feel so much better. Even if it's a teacher, even if it's a coach, whatever it is, you can respectfully teach them how to disagree in a respectful manner, okay? Number 4, not noticing their good behavior. That is a pet peeve of mine when people want to complain about what their children do. I'm like, okay, so what do they do? What do they do good? What do you tell them that they're good at? What are you complimenting them on? And so you got to make sure that you're doing it. So you know what you can do? You can praise them. You can say, hey, I love the way, you know what, usually you don't make up your bed. Today I noticed you made your bed up and I didn't have to say anything to you. Good job. Way to go. Because if you continue to focus on all the negative stuff, that's all you're going to get. And last but not least, that I'm your mama because I told you so. You're going to respect me because I brought you into this world. That's such a familiar cliche. There's a famous doctor that said, you can't make your child respect you. The truth is, kids don't automatically respect their parents anyway. But what you can do, because respect is a feeling, you can teach them the things that are non-negotiable. You can tell them, okay, you know what? We're not doing the talking back, or we're not doing the smacking your lips and those types of things. Now, what you have to do is you can tell your children, you don't have to like the rules, but you know what? You do have to comply with it. There are rules that I don't like, but I have to comply with it. And so what you've got to do is try to create an atmosphere where your child does not feel like you're the villain like the rest of the world, right? Where your children don't feel like you hate them like the rest of the world, because most teens, they go through that phase where my parent is the enemy. Now, you know what? There's no excuse for disrespect. There's no excuse for abuse. There's no excuse for letting your children talk to you any kind of way, but there is a way that you as a parent can diffuse a lot of the situations, pick your battles, and make it through the teen years unscathed, less chaos as possible, and get to the point where they can leave your house, get married, and bring you some beautiful grandchildren after they get married. Okay. So that's what you have to do. Those are the 5 things that you have to do. And as a parent, you have to be the bigger person. You have to be the bigger person. That's what you have to do. You have to be, hey, Carmen Deneen, thanks for joining. Hey, Bev, you have to be the bigger person. And so instead of fighting with them, instead of arguing with them, listen to them. Include them in the conversation, because if not, you're teaching them, right? Yes, not yes, how to disrespect you. You're teaching them that it's okay to go back and forth in the battle. You're teaching somebody's husband how to go back and forth. You're teaching somebody's wife how to go back and forth. And when your child is misbehaving in a disrespectful way, you've got to set your boundaries on the onslaught. You've got to say, look, you don't have to like this rule, but you do have to obey it. I understand you don't like the rule. And that's what you have to do. So those are the 5 things that I want you to understand about that as a parent, that if you do the opposite of those, you're going to get the disrespect. There's no way around it. You're going to get it, because guess what? You as a parent are contributing to it. I know that doesn't sound good. I know it sounds kind of painful that you would think that you're contributing to your children disrespecting you, but there are times when you contribute to the disrespect. This is Tavis Taylor with Tavis Taylor Talks, and everybody knows that Tavis Taylor always has something to talk about. Make it a great day. Bye.
You on YouTube?
Okay. I told you. Yesterday, you don't be paying no attention.